Grande Center for Spiritual Living. Good morning, all of the people who are here, all of the people who are here online, knowing that we are all one in this time of meditation. So I invite you to just be here. Let's take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Take a deep breath in as we go deeper. Breathe out and feel yourself in the chair. Feel your body there. Breathe in again. Breathe out. And bring your mind to the breath. That here we are together. Our spirit is here. We become aware of our body. Sometimes we lose that. Our body is here. And our mind and our soul. And we have the opportunity to feel oneness, to experience oneness and peace. And so please take one more breath, one more deep breath in, going deeper, and breathe out. And I invite you during this silent meditation, mostly silent meditation, to just be aware of your breath. Be aware of the peace in you. And be aware of your thoughts. That when the thoughts come in, you just acknowledge them and let them go. And I always say, don't get fascinated with the thoughts. Let's just let them go. And in this unity, in this oneness, is peace. So I'll be quiet for a few minutes as we just breathe in and out and experience oneness and peace. if your mind and breath and body have gone away somewhere, bring them back. Bring them back now and breathe, knowing that this now, this present moment, is where you find peace. Just breathe. I would like to use these last few minutes of meditation for a metta prayer. And as I say it, please say it silently with me. First, for ourselves. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be at peace. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be at peace. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be at peace. And now think of someone you love. And we'll say the prayer for that person. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be at peace. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be at peace. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be at peace. And now for all beings, may all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be at peace. And just know in these last few minutes that this peace that you have, that you embody, that you have prayed for, is in you, is available at all times, and is something that you bring to the world. I am so grateful for you to be here, for this is an act of love. Self-love, love of each other, love of the world. And we are a gift in being able to bring our love and peace to the world. And so take another breath. Feel your feet. Feel you're sitting on the chair. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your love right here, right now. We'll have 10 minutes now for you to sit and be quiet or talk or socialize, whatever you want. And our service will begin at 10:30. Thank you, Susan.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for turning off your cell phones and other noisemakers so that we can enjoy the sanctity of our time together. If joining online, welcome. You can click on closed captioning if you need assistance. I am Tamara Williams, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm very grateful for each person joining us today. Together we are transforming our world with the power of love and action. I want to take a minute to honor the people who are love and action today. Our musical inspiration is provided by Susan Clark. Yay, Susan. Susan always finds the best and most appropriate tunes for every Sunday. And she's also offering her CDs for $5 at the bookstore. So you can enjoy her here and at home or in your car or wherever if you get a CD. Also want to thank Jennifer and Cheryl Ray, our mighty tech team. Very dependable, reliable. And our greeter is Kate McLaren. Hey, Kate. We have food angels in the back, and Gilbert is manning the Spirit-Bound bookstore. We also have licensed spiritual practitioners helping us today. Practitioners Lisa, Carmela, and Marilyn O'Leary are holding the service in consciousness and prayer. And Michelle Coleman will introduce the service with the evocation and a couple of readings, as well as be our celebration assistant. And Reverend Gil Olmsted will host our celebration and offer our inspirational message for the day. And here are a few brief announcements. Brian Kurtz will offer healing services today. Thank you, Brian. And if your skills involve organization and dedication to the center, we'd love to have you volunteer as a volunteer coordinator. And if that rings your chimes, then please talk to Nancy Bowers during normal business hours. And everyone is invited to our community meeting after our celebration service next week, April 6th. The agenda includes important updates and plans for the future, welcoming new board members, and collaboratively shaping our vision identity as a community. Also wanted to give a reminder that 5 Witches, which is America's most frequently used living will be offered by practitioner Marilyn Kirk. So you can create your will by expressing your wishes in personal, emotional, spiritual, medical, and legal with Marilyn's assistance. It's a series of weekly Zoom meetings from April 22nd to May 13th from 7 to 9 p.m. And there's a discount until April 7th. Then it goes up to full price. So check it out in the bulletin or on the website. Thank you very much. And now it's time for our evocation.
I just invite you to go to your heart as we open up to the truth that there is only one power, and that power expresses through and as each one of us. And the power that I'd like us to get in touch with today is the power of love. I cannot bring love to myself or others if my heart is not open. I am willing to breathe into my heart and feel it open right now. I am willing to be open to the healing power of love. And for this awareness, I give thanks. as I allow this love to express through and as me, and invite you to allow this love to express through and as you, and join me in saying, and so it is. And as we take that into the silence just for a moment. Thank you.
Do you feel like standing? Okay. I'm seeing a nod of consensus there. It's kind of a mellow tune. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. Sing with me. God is holding me. There you are. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 We're going to do the whole thing again. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 God is holding me.
Thank you, Susan. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good to see you all here. I'm Gil. I'm the spiritual director. My pronouns are he and him. And I have a question for you. How is God holding you this week?
Very well.
Very well. All right. Anybody want to comment on something about that this week?
Keeping everything smooth.
Keeping it all smooth. Keeping it all smooth. Not too tight. So God is holding us all the time. What an incredible realization. So one of the things that we talk about here is that this thing we call God is called many different things. But it's all the same energy, it's all the same love, it's all the same activity of the universe. And another thing that we know here is that our thoughts are creative, and we co-create our experience based on what we are thinking and believing about our lives. So most of the time, well, not most of the time, a lot of the time I discover that I'm thinking and believing things that probably aren't the best for me. So it's an opportunity to shift that. So we encourage one another to rethink things sometimes. And also we know that we are in touch with this one life, this one spirit, through our meditation, through our prayer, through our community, through our play, through our study. And we keep ourselves in touch with this life, this one life. One other thing that we believe is that it's all love. Can we believe that? Yes. It's all love. There's nothing but love. Sometimes it looks very loving, and sometimes it doesn't. But it's still love. And finally, we're all whole, perfect, and complete. Each one of us in this room, each one of us beyond this room, each one of us online, we are all whole, perfect, and complete right where we are. So we simply come together to remember that and to live into that. So with that, I'm grateful that you're all here. I want to take a minute to greet one another through, if there's anybody online who's new, I want you to hear this from us. If there's anyone in the room that is with us for the first time and wants to identify themselves, we are going to send you a blessing along with everyone else in the room. So let's rub our hands together and receive this blessing from one another. We see you. We know who you really are. You are the perfection of spirit. We are grateful for your presence. We love you. Welcome home.
Is it my turn, really? Is there a reading, or am I missing something? Oh, it's after me, okay. So I brought my toys with me, and they have been sanitized for your hygienic reasons. And if you would feel moved to play one of them, please come up and get one. Don't be shy. I need you. Please stand. Okay. To all you brave souls who have decided to play a percussion instrument, I'm going to give you the beat, okay? Here we go. In beauty, may I walk all day long. May I walk through the seasons. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace on this path.
was awesome. Thank you, Susan. So I am Dr. Michelle Coleman, and I like to see it as I'm in training this morning as a celebration assistant. So my pronouns are she and her. And I have a reading from one of my favorite New Thought authors, Paul Ferrini, and it's from The Power of Love. There are two types of consciousness: unity consciousness and duality consciousness. Unity consciousness blesses and includes. Duality consciousness judges and separates. We experience unity consciousness when we remember our connection with God. That is always an experience of ecstasy. We experience duality consciousness when we forget our connection with God. That is always an experience of suffering. Unity consciousness can also be called oneness or God consciousness. In order to experience this transcendent state, we must turn our attention from the external affairs of the world and look within to encounter God's essence within us. We do this by getting centered and breathing, usually with our eyes closed. We do not seek the kingdom of heaven outside, but within our heart of hearts. So I invite you to take that into your heart and just allow it to resonate with you, to find its place. So when you are out in the world and duality consciousness calls you, you can remember the truth of who you are, connected to all that is, as you go to your heart. And remember, you are an expression of that one in the silence. And we give thanks.
So just a short PSA. These are earplugs that are individually wrapped for you, and they're always out in the foyer. So we do our best with the sound to make it as even as we can, but if you're sitting up front, maybe it's going to be too loud for you. So I just offer these as an alternative or as an option. Oh, yeah, and these, I feel like I could just throw them out like candy. All right. So quiet, quiet. It's so quiet you could. Let me see what I'm going to try something different here. It's been a hard season. It's been a broken road. All the dreams that I was dreaming, they went up in smoke. But I keep on believing there is a reason for this hard season. I've been brought down to my knees, but sometimes I'm too weak to pray. So God, I hope you can hear the words that I can't say. Do you know what I'm needing? Are you still holding me in this hard season? Oh, I lift up my eyes where my help comes from. I fall in the arms of the only one who knows the reason for this hard season. Lord, you wrote the story that I can't see, so even in the dark my heart will believe there is a reason for every hard season. When the tears and the trials are too many to count, when my last bit of faith starts to give way to the waves of my doubt, it may feel like I'm drowning, but I know I'm not alone in this hard season. Lord, you wrote the story that I can't see, so even in the dark my heart will believe there is a reason for every hard season. Weeping may last for a moment, but joy is gonna come in the morning. Oh, blessings will flow from these battles, and beauty will rise from these ashes. Oh, weeping may last for a moment, but joy is gonna come in the morning. Blessings will flow from these battles, and beauty will rise from these oceans of ashes. Oh, weeping may last for a moment, joy's gonna come in the morning. Blessings will flow from these battles, and beauty will rise from these ashes. Oh, I lift up my eyes to where my help comes from. I fall in the arms of the only one who knows the reason for every hard season. Lord, you wrote the story that I can't see, so even in the dark my heart will believe there is a reason for every hard season.
Susan. Whew. I think Susan was showing off, don't you?
Go, girl, go.
Oh my goodness. So, good morning. See, I don't like glasses because these glasses are designed to read with, and you are all out there. This is very annoying. However, I am a man of a certain age now. So, did anyone read the title of this week's message? The precarious position of uncomfortable. Everybody feel like being uncomfortable is kind of a precarious position? Not necessarily. Okay, we got one no. All right. What's funny about this title, and since Nancy's here, I can pick on her. This is not the title. But I think it points to something interesting. The title is The Precarious Position of Comfortability. But that's not very comfortable now, is it? So it must be about being uncomfortable, because that would be precarious. Being comfortable must be wonderful, right?
It's overrated.
It's overrated. All right. Yeah, it is sometimes, that's for sure. So what is it about this life? We tend to want to be comfortable. We strive for things to start to work out so that we can predict. We know how it goes. We now get to do things like we can set the temperature in our house while we're away so that when we get back, it'll be perfectly comfortable. I can set the temperature in my car so that it's perfectly comfortable when I get to it. We do things to create comfortability. We predictability. We always go certain places. We like a certain market. It's our market. We like the Costco on the west side more than the one down the street. We have our comfortable places where we go. And what happens when we stay in our comfortable zone? Not much. Not much. Yes, when we stay in that comfortable zone, we're in a space that's predictable, but what's really going to happen? So this is something I heard some years ago, and I love it. And that is, every time we walk, we are simply falling down and catching ourselves. Because every time you take a step, I'll get up one more for this one. But every time you take a step, you get to a certain point where you have to put your other foot down so that you don't actually fall. So you're in a constant state of imbalance and rebalance. Imbalance and rebalance. So if we're in a constant state of everything being comfortable, what are we doing? I'm standing here. I can't go anywhere. Because if I move, I will hit that point of imbalance and it won't be comfortable. Now, this is true on so many things that on the physical plane, we truly are constantly working on that balance piece, constantly trying to figure out where it is. My godsons laughed at me one day. Early on when I got my mountain bike, we were in Oakland and we were on this little path down at the end of a street, and we went off the side, and I had on my bike shoes that clipped into the pedals, and I was pedaling along this path which had a drop off on one side, right? And I don't know what I hit. I hit a little sandy spot, whatever. I wasn't going very fast, and in slow motion, I fell down the cliff. Not down the cliff, but it was just down the embankment. Hit my head on a tree, which set off my alarm in my helmet to alert people that I was dying. And it was all because I couldn't get my foot out. And because I couldn't get my foot out, I couldn't get to a place of stabilizing myself, right? So I was out of balance, and I just kept being out of balance until I hit a point of balance, which was when I hit the ground. And it was a nerve-wracking experience. But but it's common in our lives that we hit these spots where we can feel it kind of careening out of control, and we have to let it go. And what do we have to do? We have to trust that there's something we're going to land on. There's something that's going to be there. So if we walk in a thing of uncomfortability, we cut out the places for growth. And why do we do that? Mostly because of what? Fear. What are we afraid of? What we don't know. We're afraid of what we don't know.
Or what we can't control.
What we can't control. Failure. Uncertainty. Losing what we have. So we are afraid of a whole bunch of things that we probably don't have any control over anyway. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know whether or not we're going to have that thing that we think we might lose next. What we do know is what we have in this moment. And if we are to move and expand our lives, we have to move into that space where it's not as comfortable as it was, at least for a moment. We have to shift something and shift something. I, many years ago, came to the conclusion that one of the goals of mine was to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Because that's the reality of our lives, is we have to be comfortable knowing that we don't know everything. And we can't predict everything, and we can't be in charge of every single thing. It is said that our lives actually begin at the point of uncomfortability. When we hit that uncomfortable spot, that's where life is moving. That's where we've begun to create something new. And this happens as individuals, it happens as groups, it happens in different ways. But we hit those places where it is uncomfortable. And we can't really move on unless we're there. I mean, unless we continue to be there. And when we think about fear of failure, how can we fail? What can ultimately be wrong if we say that all things work together for good? It may not look the way we wanted it to. It may not look great to us, but it may be the absolute perfect thing. And in fact, it has to be at some level. We have to walk with that truth. Now, another fear similar to that is the fear of success. Anybody ever dealt with that one? See, if we make that change, people actually realize that we have a certain ability, or we can exhibit a certain kind of thing in our lives, they're going to expect us to do it again. They're going to want us to do it next time. And what if I don't want to? Right? So there's that fear of, if I succeed, people will now expect me to succeed, if you will. But even that, quote, success is simply navigating that falling forward. It's just navigating the next step. And so we fear looking dumb, and we fear looking good. It's a very fascinating thing, this human condition. Don't you think? So, you know, there's certain things about change that are required. And we have to think about what is beyond that comfortable zone. What is it that's beyond that? Because what we stop at is it's comfortable. Do you ever, I mean, we do this often. We're living in our houses, our apartments, whatever it is, and we don't know who's in the door next door because it hasn't been comfortable to go over and say hello. But who knows what could come of that? Who knows what relationships could happen if we actually connected with some people? How often are we in a situation where we know there's something that tells us there's something we need to do, but it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's scary. It's not the normal. People don't do that. Normal people do not walk up to you in the grocery store and say, "Excuse me, are you doing okay today?" But maybe that's something that we're called to be about. Maybe that's something uncomfortable, which leads us to a place of realizing that we can be uncomfortable and be okay. And as every time we realize that we can push that envelope of comfortability, then we can take another step forward. Every time we take that step and realize that we catch ourselves with the next step, we are training ourselves that it's okay to go through that spot of instability, if you will. Instability, I guess is the right word. And so, what if we really took in everything as a lesson? What if everything was here to teach us something? What if every time, whatever it was that happened, led us to a place of a new understanding? Even if it was the understanding that, wow, I don't like the way I responded to that. I think I could do better. I think there's something else I could do. I didn't realize how much stored up angst I had about this particular thing. And when that person said that, it all came up. It all came out. Oh, this is an opportunity for me to realize that there's stuff for me to work on, to heal. Not to fix, but to allow for presence of. To go into the uncomfortable place of acknowledging what doesn't feel perfect. To acknowledge what, to my understanding, looks out of place. And until I can do that, I'm holding it off. And so it's always underneath. It's always a place of fear. It's always a place where I'm not sure I want to take that step because it gets dicey. It gets dicey there. And I don't want to go there. I think we've all had experiences in our lives where we know that that's the case. And it's an interesting thing to walk in that truth, that comfortability is really an illusion anyway. It's really an illusion. We create a space that we think is some way. And then suddenly it starts to change. It shifts. We find ourselves in a relationship that falls apart. We find ourselves losing a loved one who's moved on. We find ourselves in something that doesn't make sense. We find that our friend who we thought was a friend isn't quite the friend we thought they were. We discover that we're not quite the friend we thought we were. Yeah. And does that mean we have to go around and grovel and try to make up for everything? Not necessarily, but it means we get the opportunity to take that and learn from it. To learn from it. And to become more of who we are. To walk more in that space of who and whose we are. So I was thinking about an elevator. You ever gotten on an elevator and all of a sudden it started to move and you did that a little bit, and then when it stopped you went, ooh, and the doors open and you're in a completely new place. You're in a completely new place. And had you not had those moments of imbalance, you would not be on the new floor. Sometimes going down is more treacherous than going up. But it doesn't matter because we're always traversing the ups and downs. We're traversing different things all the time. And sometimes we have to be prepared to allow something to fall away, and sometimes we have to be prepared to embrace something new in our lives. You know, when we do this thing called visioning, which I know some of you are familiar with, a couple of the things we talk about in there are, what do I need to embrace to allow this vision to come forth in my life? So what is it that I need to bring into my belief system and my understanding of the world and acknowledge? And secondly, what do I need to release? What's standing in the way? What is it that I hang on to that could get in the way of this vision manifesting in my life? What if I am very angry about some situation in my life? Am I going to be able to be open to what's coming in? No. So sometimes I have to let go of that anger. Sometimes I'm fearful. We talked about the fear things. Sometimes I'm afraid. And if I'm holding on to that fear, again, I can't allow what's coming in. And if I don't embrace the possibility that change is good, that my life expands with every movement, that everything is moving in a direction that is positive for me and the world around me, then I can't step into the vision. So we are moving all the time. And either we're being pushed by our fear or we're being drawn forward by our vision. And one pushes until the other pulls. And so when we are in our comfortability, we are primarily staying in that fear spot, not willing to go forward. And when we can see and accept the possibility of what's in front of us and draw it into ourselves, take it in, see the possibility, then we can move into a place of being drawn forth by the vision. We're moving forward towards something. We often talk about in New Thought this idea that we are not about being against things. We're for things. So sometimes we will witness protests or things like that and go, it looks like a bunch of angry people. And sometimes it is. And sometimes we'll see another kind of protest and we'll see a bunch of happy people who are walking along talking about the world they see, not the world that they want to push away. The world they see. They're not caught up in the world that they want to push away. They're looking toward the world that they see and looking for the ways to embrace it. Looking for the ways to bring it into fruition. And how do we do that? We have to walk through those uncomfortable spaces. We have to have those uncomfortable conversations. We have to allow ourselves to feel a little out of balance. The precarious position of comfortability. It's a tricky one because it feels good sometimes. It feels so nice, warm and toasty. Oh, everything is gooey and ooey. And after a while, summer comes and that warm and toasty place is too warm and toasty, right? If we stay in that spot as the world continues to move, we miss where we're going. we miss what we're being called to be about. And we miss the opportunity to embrace our world in greater and greater ways, and to embrace our lives in larger and more deep ways. And so my thing today is that we are here to go beyond our comfortable space. Now, it doesn't mean that we never stand and be comfortable for a moment. But if we're stuck there, we're stuck there. We know that we need to take those steps. We need to fall forward. We need to allow ourselves to experience that place where we're not sure and step into something new. So, I am grateful for that knowingness. And I am just going to invite our practitioners and ministers and licensed Unity teachers and all of our people to stand and surround the room in love. Just symbolizing the grace of Spirit and the fact that, I believe as the song said, God is holding me. So Spirit is holding us always, no matter what it feels like or looks like in that moment. So right now we stand in this place acknowledging the truth of Spirit, acknowledging that life is loving us, acknowledging that in the midst of whatever is happening, wherever the imbalance is showing up in our lives, that Spirit is always moving us toward a new balance, a new understanding, a new ability to embrace our world, a new way of understanding. And that this is always pushing us for our good. Always inviting us forward into something greater, something larger than we have anticipated, something larger than we could see. And so I stand right here and right now knowing that every spot of comfortability, every spot of uncomfortability is perfectly and divinely guided. That each one of us is here to express the beauty of who we are. We're here to offer to the world the special gifts that we've been given. We're here to discover what those gifts are. And we release any sense of holding back. All fear is dissolved right now into where it came from, into the nothingness from which it came. And we stand with confidence and joy, stepping into these areas that we're called into. And I know this is the truth for each individual in the room, at home, each individual watching this at another time. This is always our truth. And as we stand together as a community, I declare that this is also our truth. That we are called into the picture of who we are to be, how we are to be loving and inclusive and broadening our understanding in the world. And that in the places where that becomes uncomfortable, we just take a moment and then we allow ourselves to step forward. We allow ourselves to take the step. And we know that each person's step is different. That none of us are walking in lockstep, that we are walking in unity, not uniformity. We are walking in our own growth and movement. And so, as a community, we're holding that space for each one to be exactly where they need to be. And so we are open and we are loving. And so I'm just knowing that this is the truth of who we are. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to know it. I'm grateful to experience it. I'm grateful to live it. And truly, I just release this word knowing that it is done. It has been done long before it was ever spoken. For it is simply the truth expressing as us. So it is. Amen.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one ever stays the same. The young become the old. Mysteries to unfold, because that's the way of time. Nothing and nobody goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life you can be sure of. Except rain comes from the clouds, and the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. Your wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Nobody goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life that you can really be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. Your wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Nothing and nobody goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life that you can really be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. And music, beautiful music, can sometimes make you want to cry. Thank you.
There we go. That's better. As we get ready to bring forth our gifts and our offerings this morning, I just want to point out a couple of quick things. One is, as you so lovely spoke about in the song, everything changes and we don't know when. That's why 5 Wishes is important for you to take as a class. So see the brochure, see the flyer. It's going to be with people from about 8 different centers from across the country online. And it's an opportunity to meet some people and also to get something, you know, those things that we don't, uncomfortable things that we don't want to step into, and acknowledge that this could happen at some point and we might want to have this in place. So, you know, just even things like, what do I want people to do? Who do I want to be in charge of my decisions if I can't make them? Things like that. Important stuff. And secondly, this is, we reopened our partnership campaign, and this is our last day of that. Cheryl Ray will be in the other room with a computer to assist anyone who wants to explore that. Basically, it's the way of saying, I'm committed to giving my time, my talent, and my treasure. And then, how am I going to do that? So, thank you for that. Do we have? Yes, I know we do. So we're going to take our gift if we have it with us. If not, we're going to symbolically hold it to our hearts, and we're going to speak this together. I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars. And so I give and receive generously, and so it is. So feel free to come to the baskets. There's other ways to give. Many people give online. We just appreciate all of it. Thank you.
We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our souls. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be alone. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. Oh.
I'll do the prayer. Okay. So we just receive all of these gifts. We receive the gift of one another. We receive the gifts of Spirit to us and through us. And we receive all of this and commit to our using and blessing it and moving it forward into the community, into the lives of others with love and joy and peace. And so it is. Amen.
Ah, what a joy it was. Thank you all for being here today and celebrating with one another. So I invite you not to forget to take advantage of the prayers being offered by our practitioners in the prayer garden, or if you prefer, you can write your written prayer request and put it in the prayer box at the back of the sanctuary, or online at rgcsl.org. And I invite you to join us for food and community in the social hall after our closing song and affirmation, because all of our food angels bring such delicious delectables. I really enjoy sampling them. So I invite you to join us all. Thank you, and have an awesome week.
If you'd please stand, we're going to go out here with a boom. If you have your percussion with you and you want to play it on this, that's great, or come up and get some more percussion. It's kind of a, I don't almost like a gospel romp. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Let's do that same thing. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazing and awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Amazing, amazing. It's so amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's all amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's all amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's all amazing.
Right. Did I hit? I think I hit. Am I on? I'm on. Okay. All right, so let's take this affirmation out today. Are we ready? All right. So, every step I take reminds me that I am balanced. Every step I take reminds me that I am balanced, or that I will regain it, however that goes. All right, have a great day.